Hey, welcome back to Ground Level Radio. This is Firefly and the Worm. Well, here we are, day 3 without power, which of course means the milk has gone bad. The elevators are just decorative. And somewhere in this building, a guy named Trevor has absolutely snapped because he can no longer charge his gaming headset. Yep, sounds about right. Nature's healing. And meanwhile, downtown electricity came back on almost immediately. Interesting how that works. Let's see. It's almost like the city planners, get a little nervous when the, rich people have to experience consequences. But hey, good news. The giant holographic Sentinel advertisement over Harbor Avenue, it's working perfectly. Priorities. For anyone outside the Mercer grid, here is the current situation. The south side is flooded. The bridge tunnels, they're closed again. There are 3 emergency shelters that are already over capacity, and the city is asking people to remain patient during ongoing restoration efforts. That's just a phrase I've started to hate. Restoration efforts. I mean, it sounds, so hopeful. But like people in reflective jackets that are heroically building society brick by brick, as if what it actually means is it's some sort of 19-year-old contractor named Lewis who's, probably smoking behind a generator trying not to cry. Anyway. Today somebody vandalized the memorial mural on Barlow Street again. For those of you unfamiliar with the mural, it's dedicated to all the missing sidekicks from the Black Star event 2 years ago. Officially lost during active dimensional containment procedures. I mean, that's the wording that they used. Very professional, very clean. Makes it sound a lot less horrifying than I guess it probably was. I mean, the mural had names on it too, right? Faces too, right? But every few months, somebody paints over a part of it, defaces it. Usually the anti-hero people. Some, pro-hero people, sometimes conspiracy weirdos who think that, I don't know, the missing sidekicks were some sort of ascended to a higher frequency. I mean, which I say this with love. Is an absolutely embarrassing thing to believe. I mean, really? Like they just ascended because they were somehow chosen by an omnipotent God. Like you're just going to be judged and rise up. What a higher frequency my brother probably ascended to. Yeah, I mean, is there something above dead? I don't know. I mean, it's usually the frequency that people ascend to and buildings collapse on them, Sorry, that was darker than intended, and I have a bit of a lack of sleep and no air conditioning. So I've also been, 3 days straight listening to the guy upstairs play acoustic guitar, like in my personal apocalyptic soundtrack. Anyway, the city, of course, restored the mural, at least by noon. Fastest cleanup response East Mercer seen in months, which is interesting. I mean, it took them 6 weeks to clear the collapsed daycare in Linden. But, damage to the hero memorial. Ooh, suddenly everybody's moving at superhero speed. Makes you think. Okay, before somebody clips that last sentence out of context again. All right. No, I'm not saying that the city is controlled by superhero sponsor money. I mean, there's a difference legally. I checked. Speaking of sponsors, today's episode is sponsored by the Lantern energy drinks for people too traumatized to sleep naturally, which, is honestly respect with the honesty. What's weird is that people don't talk about birthdays. I mean, that's the part nobody really prepares you for, right? The world talks about grief like it's some traumatic time. Like you're standing in the rain holding old photographs with an orchestra, music playing in the background. I mean, most grief is stupid. But most grief looks like, standing in a grocery store realizing you accidentally bought their favorite cereal again. Or remember somebody's birthday while you're brushing your teeth. Or, hearing that joke and you think, oh, I should send him that. But you can't. Before remembering. 2 years. I know how long it's been since Black Star, okay? 2 years since every news station ran the same footage over and over again. Oh, the rapture in the sky, the evacuation of the sirens, the hero teams disappearing into the breach. And then eventually, there was that press conference. There's always a press conference. Vanguard Collective, standing in perfect formation while somebody in an expensive coat, explains sacrifice to the public. I remember the exact phrase that they used. They said, not all heroes returned from the containment zone. Returned. That was just an interesting choice of words. Not dead, not missing, not, uncoverable, just, not returned, like they were like a package that went missing from a delivery. Then came the statues, the murals, the merchandise. God, the merchandise. Honestly, nothing says, honoring the sacrifice quite like, glow-in-the-dark commemorative action figures. And, the people bought them, too. The whole city treated this tragedy like it was some sort of movie franchise. What we got? A pamphlet. Counselor that was exhausted handing out pamphlets in a school gymnasium. Families processing hero-related loss. That was the title. Hero-related loss. I'm sorry. I know I'm spiraling. It always happens around an anniversary month, The listeners who have been with me already know that. But, which, by the way, thank you, seriously. Weird little community around this show, it matters more than you probably realize. Half the city feels like it's held together by people quietly checking in on their neighbors who are still alive. Mrs. Delgado from downstairs brought soup to 6 different apartments yesterday when everybody's food spoiled during the blackout. She didn't have to do that. Sal from the deli been running extension cords from stolen generators so people can, charge their medical equipment. Somebody painted over the vandalized mural before the city crews even arrived, but, hey, that's East Mercer. And that's the real version of this city, not the flying people, the punching lasers, just exhausted people trying very hard not to become monsters. Anyway, after the break, why the blackout maps don't match the official battle reports, why somebody keeps removing surveillance footage from Sector 8, you know who you are, and why I think the city knew that the power grid was going to fail, before the fight even started. Yeah, but first, a word from our sponsor.